250,000 people die every year from one type of gun. That number is higher than all nuclear weapons combined. It kills more than any single disease or natural disaster, and you can walk into a store right now and buy one. This is not about power. This is not about size. This is about which guns have actually killed the most people in real combat and on the streets. These are the weapons that soldiers, police, and criminals have trusted with their lives, and every single one is legal to buy in 2026. Let's count down the 10 deadliest guns you can actually purchase today. Number 10. Remington 870, Pump Shotgun. The Remington 870 has been in police cars and on battlefields since 1950. Over 11 million have been made. That puts one in the hands of law enforcement in almost every county in America. The 870 fires 12-gauge shells. Each buckshot round sends 9 pellets downrange. At 15 feet, those pellets create a pattern the size of a dinner plate. Slugs turn it into a rifle capable of taking down large game or penetrating barriers. Police departments choose the 870 because it works. The steel receiver can take brutal abuse. You can drop it in mud, leave it in a trunk for years, and it will still fire. The action is smooth and reliable even after thousands of rounds. The U.S. military used the 870 from Vietnam through Desert Storm. Marines carried it for door breaching and close-quarters combat. The psychological effect alone makes attackers reconsider. The 870 comes in dozens of configurations. Express models have basic finishes. Wingmaster models feature polished steel and walnut. Tactical models come with extended magazines and ghost ring sights. All share the same reliable action. You can buy an 870 Express for $500. Add a magazine extension and you have 7 rounds. Higher-end models cost $800 to $1,000. Parts and accessories are everywhere. The 870 is not fancy or high-tech, but it has been getting the job done for over 70 years. Number 9. Mossberg 500 Pump Shotgun. The Mossberg 500 is the most produced shotgun in history. Over 11 million have been made. More importantly, it is the only shotgun to ever pass military specification 3,443. That distinction gives it credibility that other civilian shotguns cannot match. Rounds of buckshot with no more than 2 malfunctions. The gun must survive being frozen to minus 65 degrees, baked to 160 degrees, and dropped repeatedly onto concrete. The Mossberg 500 passed when other shotguns failed. This earned it official military adoption. The U.S. military adopted the 590A1 variant. That version has a thicker barrel that can mount a bayonet and a metal trigger guard to meet military standards. It has seen combat in Grenada, Panama, Desert Storm, Somalia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Marines use it for breaching doors and close-quarters combat. The 500 holds 5 rounds standard. Magazine extensions can increase capacity to 7 or 8 rounds. The safety sights on top of the receiver where your thumb naturally rests. This lets you switch from safe to fire faster than guns with trigger guard safeties. In a fight, that extra second matters. The aluminum receiver makes the 500 lighter than the 870. That is important when you are carrying it all day on patrol. The weight difference is only half a pound, but it adds up over long shifts. Police officers and soldiers appreciate the reduced fatigue. The gun costs around $400 for basic models. Tactical versions with extended magazines and ghost ring sights cost $600 to $800. For that price, you get proven battlefield reliability. Parts are readily available and any gunsmith can work on it. The 500 and 870 are so similar that choosing between them is personal preference. Both have proven themselves in combat. Both are trusted by professionals worldwide. Both deserve a spot on this list. Number 8. M1911 Pistol. The 1911 pistol has been in service for over a century. It was the standard U.S. military sidearm through 2 world wars, Korea and Vietnam. That is more combat than almost any other gun ever made. The 1911 fires 45 ACP. This is a big, slow bullet that creates massive wound channels. The military adopted it specifically because smaller calibers failed to stop enemy soldiers. The 45 ACP solved that problem immediately. The 1911 only holds 7 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. That is low capacity by modern standards. But the gun was designed when stopping power mattered more than capacity. One hit from a 45 often ends the fight. John Browning designed the 1911 to be simple and reliable. The gun has been copied by dozens of manufacturers. You can buy a basic model for $600. Custom versions cost $3,000 or more. The 1911 saw heavy use in the Pacific during World War II. American soldiers needed a pistol that would stop enemy soldiers with one shot. The 1911 delivered. It continued service through Vietnam, where troops used it in jungle combat. Modern special forces still use updated 1911 variants. The Marine Corps adopted the M45A1 in recent years. After over a century, the design still works. Number 7. AR-10 Battle Rifle. The AR-10 fires the .308 Winchester cartridge. This is a full-power rifle round that delivers over 2,400 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. That is twice what the AR-15 produces. The difference is immediately noticeable on target. Eugene Stoner designed the AR-10 in the 1950s before he created the AR-15. The military wanted a rifle to replace the M1 Garand. Stoner started with the powerful .308 cartridge and built a rifle around it. The design later became the AR-15 and M16, but the AR-10 kept the full power cartridge for situations where you need maximum stopping power and range. The .308 Winchester is effective out to 800 yards with iron sights. With optics, skilled shooters can engage targets past 1,000 yards. It can penetrate body armor that stops 5.56 NATO. It can shoot through car doors and walls. The terminal ballistics are devastating. One shot can incapacitate immediately, regardless of where it hits. The AR-10 saw limited military use compared to the AR-15. The military chose the lighter 5.56 round for general infantry. But the AR-10 has been adopted by Special Forces units and designated marksmen who need more power. Police departments use it for situations where barriers or distance are factors. SWAT teams carry it when facing barricaded suspects. The AR-10 uses the same controls and manual of arms as the AR-15. If you know how to run an AR-15, you already know how to run an AR-10. The magazines are different because of the larger cartridge. Standard capacity is 20 rounds. The rifle weighs about 9 pounds loaded. You can buy an AR-10 pattern rifle from multiple manufacturers. Armalite still makes the original design. Daniel Defense, DPMS, Aero Precision, and others offer modern variants with improvements. Prices start around $1,200 for basic models. Premium rifles cost $2,000 to $3,000. You get a rifle that can engage targets at distances where pistol calibers and 5.56 are useless. The AR-10 combines AR-15 handling with serious stopping power. It fills the gap between intermediate cartridges and dedicated sniper rifles. For that role, it is deadly effective. Number 6. Glock 19 Pistol. The Glock 19 is the most common police pistol in America. The NYPD issues them to over 35,000 officers. The FBI carries it. The Secret Service carries it. The CIA and U.S. Customs carry it. When professionals need a pistol they can trust, they choose the Glock 19. The Glock 19 holds 15 rounds of 9mm ammunition. That gives you more shots than any 1911 or revolver. In a gunfight, running out of ammunition gets you killed. The Glock 19 makes sure that does not happen. You can reload in under 2 seconds with practice. Glock pistols account for 24% of all crime guns recovered by police. That is higher than any other manufacturer. Criminals choose Glocks because they work. The gun has virtually no external safety. You draw and pull the trigger. It fires every time. The polymer frame makes it lighter than steel pistols. That means less fatigue when carrying all day. The trigger pull is consistent every time. There are no hammers or decockers to mess with. Point and shoot. The 9mm round may seem weak compared to .45 ACP, but modern ammunition has closed that gap. The FBI tested dozens of rounds and concluded that 9mm performs as well as larger calibers with proper ammunition. The lighter recoil means faster follow-up shots. The Glock 19 costs around $550. It is simple to maintain. Field stripping takes 10 seconds. It runs dirty for thousands of rounds. It works in extreme temperatures from Alaska to the desert. You can drop it in sand or water and it keeps firing. Gaston Glock designed his pistol in 1982. He had never made a gun before. He studied what soldiers and police needed and designed accordingly. The result was revolutionary. Now, Glock dominates the market. Police officers shoot people with Glocks every day in America. Criminals use them in thousands of crimes. The Glock 19 is not flashy. It is not beautiful, but it is deadly effective. That is why it dominates law enforcement and criminal use. Number 5. FN-FAL Battle Rifle. The FN-FAL is known as the right arm of the free world. Over 90 countries adopted it as their standard military rifle. More nations used the FAL than any other rifle in the 20th century. That widespread adoption means it has seen combat on every continent. The FAL fires 7.62 by 51 NATO ammunition. This is a full-power rifle cartridge that delivers over 2,600 foot-pounds of energy. That is significantly more powerful than 5.56 NATO. The round can penetrate barriers and body armor. It is effective out to 800 meters. Belgium designed the FAL in the 1950s. The rifle was adopted by Britain, Canada, Australia, most of Europe, and dozens of other nations. It saw heavy combat in the Falklands War, where British troops used it against Argentine forces. It was used throughout Africa in conflicts like the Rhodesian Bush War and the South African Border War. The FAL uses a tilting breech block and gas piston system. This makes it more reliable than direct impingement rifles like the M16. It can run dirty for extended periods. The rifle is heavy at 10 pounds loaded, but that weight reduces felt recoil. The FAL holds 20 rounds in a standard magazine. Some variants came with 30-round magazines. The charging handle is on the left side of the receiver. The safety is a large lever behind the trigger guard. The rifle is simple to operate and maintain. You can buy semi-automatic FAL rifles in America. DS Arms makes new production FAL rifles starting around $1,600. Century Arms imports surplus FALs that have been converted to semi-auto for around $1,200. Parts availability is good because so many countries made them. The FAL armed more soldiers in more wars than almost any other rifle. Its 7.62 NATO cartridge gives it serious stopping power. For decades, it was the standard by which battle rifles were measured. Number 4. PKM machine gun. The PKM is a Russian belt-fed machine gun. It fires 7.62 by 54R ammunition at 600 to 800 rounds per minute. That is sustained firepower that no rifle can match. The PKM was adopted by the Soviet Union in the 1960s. It replaced older machine guns that were heavy and unreliable. The PKM weighs just 16 pounds. That makes it light enough for one soldier to carry and operate. The PKM is used by over 50 countries. It has seen combat in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Ukraine, and dozens of other conflicts. Russian forces rely on it. Insurgent groups around the world use captured PKMs. The 7.62 by 54R cartridge is more powerful than 5.56 NATO or 7.62 by 39. It delivers over 2,600 foot-pounds of energy. That gives the PKM effective range out to 1,000 meters. It can suppress enemy positions and penetrate light cover. You cannot legally buy a full auto PKM in America without special licensing, but semi-automatic versions are available. Companies like PSA and others import them. Prices start around $2,000. The PKM provides squad-level firepower. One gunner with a PKM can pin down an entire enemy unit. It forces them to take cover while your team maneuvers. In that role, it is incredibly lethal. Number 3. AK-47 and variants. 250,000 people die from AK-47s every year. That is more than any other weapon in human history. There are an estimated 100 million AK-47s in the world. That is one AK for every 70 people on Earth. The AK-47 was designed by Mikhail Kalashnikov in 1947. The Soviet Union mass-produced it and gave production licenses to dozens of countries. Now, over 30 countries manufacture AK variants. You can buy one in some parts of the world for less than $50. The AK-47 fires 7.62 by 39 ammunition. This is a medium-power cartridge that balances power and controllability. It is effective out to 300 meters. That covers most combat distances. The AK-47 is famous for reliability. You can bury it in mud, leave it for years, dig it up, and it will fire. The design has loose tolerances that let it run dirty. Soldiers with no training can learn to use it in an afternoon. The AK-47 has been used in every major conflict since 1950. It armed the Viet Cong. It is used by insurgents in Iraq and Afghanistan. Terrorist groups worldwide carry AKs. It appears on the flag of Mozambique. In America, you can buy semi-automatic AK variants. Century Arms, Palmetto State Armory, and others import them. Prices start around $700. These civilian versions lack full auto capability, but are otherwise identical. The AK-47 has killed more people than any other rifle design. It is simple, cheap, and everywhere. Those three factors make it the deadliest rifle ever made. Number 2. M16. Rifle family. The M16 has been the standard U.S. military rifle since 1964. Over 8 million M16s have been produced. The design has seen combat in Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, and dozens of other conflicts. The M16 fires 5.56 by 45 NATO ammunition. This is the same round as the AR-15. At close range, the bullet fragments and creates massive wound channels. Enemy soldiers hit in the arm or leg often died from blood loss. The M16 initially had reliability problems in Vietnam. The Army issued it without cleaning kits and used the wrong powder in the ammunition. Marines died when their rifles jammed in combat. Those problems were fixed by 1967. The M16A2 improved accuracy and added a 3-round burst mode. The M16A4 added a flat top receiver for optics. The M4 carbine shortened the barrel for close quarters. All these variants have killed in combat. The 5.56 round relies on velocity to wound effectively. When fired from the M16's 20-inch barrel, it travels over 3,000 feet per second. That speed causes it to tumble and fragment. The M4's shorter barrel reduces velocity, but the round still performs well. You cannot buy a military M16 in America. Those are select fire weapons restricted to military and law enforcement, but you can buy semi-automatic AR-15S that are functionally identical for civilian use. The M16 armed American soldiers for 60 years. It has killed enemy combatants on every continent except Antarctica. It is accurate, reliable, and effective. That track record earns it this spot. Number 1. AR-15 Rifle Platform. The AR-15 is the deadliest gun you can legally buy in America in 2026. More than 20 million Americans own one. It has become a symbol of both freedom and tragedy. The AR-15 combines everything that makes a weapon deadly. It is accurate out to 500 yards. It holds 30 rounds in a standard magazine. The recoil is so light that even small shooters can control it. Anyone can learn to use it in a few hours. The 5.56 round was designed for combat. When it hits tissue, it tumbles and fragments. This creates wound channels much larger than the bullet diameter. At close range, the damage is catastrophic. The modularity makes it adaptable. You can mount red dot sights for close range or magnified optics for distance. Tactical lights and lasers attached to rails. Suppressors thread onto the barrel. Adjustable stocks fit any size shooter. You can buy an AR-15 from dozens of manufacturers. Smith & Wesson makes the M and P-15 for around $800. Ruger offers the AR-556 for $700. Daniel Defense makes premium models for $2,000 or more. The AR-15 has been used in American mass shootings. That fact has made it controversial. Some want it banned. Others see it as essential for defense. Millions of Americans own AR-15s and never hurt anyone. But effectiveness is what this list measures. The AR-15 is effective. It is reliable. It is everywhere. Parts and ammunition are in every gun store. Millions of people know how to use it. The AR-15 is not the most powerful gun. The AK-47 has killed more people in history. But for availability, ease of use, and proven effectiveness in American hands, nothing matches the AR-15. These guns earned their spots through proven combat use and real-world effectiveness. They are not the most powerful or exotic, but they have actually been used to kill more people than any other firearms you can legally purchase in 2026.